Alright guys, welcome to IKEA. Look at all this food that I have. We'll probably be able to finish this. We'll start out with what we know best, which is the Swedish meatballs first.
I'd have to say the most well-known food item in IKEA is their Swedish meatballs with potato mash, gravy and cranberry sauce.
Let's give this a bite. It is exactly what you expect from Swedish meatballs. They're bouncy, nice mellow meat flavor, the gravy's good, mashed potatoes are fine, sauce is fine, peas are fine. The meatballs actually have like a good meaty flavor, which is surprising. I'm assuming they export this meatball to every IKEA that you go to.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter where you go to find this dish, it'll be consistent wherever you go. And Japan's version is no different.
Yeah, Swedish meatballs, very standard. Exactly what you expect from any IKEA, I reckon. All right, let's switch gears to the salmon.
Next up is the salmon on pasta.
So this salmon has penne inside with a, looks like tomato-based sauce. It's got a bit of dill on top. It doesn't look like the freshest salmon, but my mind can change very quickly with a bite. Let's try the salmon. The salmon is surprisingly good. The sauce is very mellow. It's not strong at all, but the pasta penne, not that good.
The salmon itself was very decent, as it retains its moisture. However, the penne pasta was undercooked.
Salmon is still moist inside, still quite juicy, still got a lot of flavor. I reckon the salmon is already well seasoned as well.
The pasta sauce had no special flavor or elements to make it different from a tomato paste, which is also a bit of a letdown. The only saving grace is the salmon being cooked well and well flavored.
The salmon is the star of the show and it saves the show as well. I'm anticipating the salmon is going to be the low tier of all the dishes I've had.
If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you give us a cheeky like and subscribe. It's the best way to help out this channel, so thanks so much in advance. Now, let's get back to the food.
We'll move on to the roast beef next.
Moving on to their roast beef, this one was a surprisingly good dish.
So we've got some roast beef pieces with this relish. I don't know what this relish is. It looks like fruity on a bed of mashed potatoes and another white sauce with a cherry tomato. I haven't used a knife and fork ever since I came to Japan actually, now I think about it. It just feels a bit weird holding a fork now. You call that a knife? This is a knife. I see you've played knifey spoony before. Cool, let's get this bite in. Holy hell, what? Hey yo, that's a slapper. That kind of slaps hard. That's actually some really nice roast beef. What the? All right, first of all, roast beef is tender. It's not ultra juicy, so it's not like flowing with juices, but it's very tender, not chewy at all, and there's a really light, salty flavor to it.
The roast beef was well seasoned and there were no dry pieces. It's paired very nicely with the creamy tartare sauce and kicked up with a fresh fruit relish to add some sweetness. I couldn't believe how good this one was. It definitely went beyond my expectations.
I didn't expect this roast beef to be that good. I think it might be an early call, but this roast beef might be the best dish I've had, I'm gonna have at IKEA. I'm actually astounded by how good that roast beef is from IKEA. Easy yet if you're in Japan. All right, I'll park that to the side, now that I know that's really good. Moving on to the last piece de resistance, which is the chicken and waffles. The thing about chicken here in Japan I've noticed is that you can find really juicy and good and tasty chicken just at convenience stores. It kind of looks like that.
Lastly, we have their chicken and waffles. Now, from first sight, its ratio is quite off as there's more waffles than chicken or cream needed. I don't often eat chicken and waffles, so only one way to find out if this changes my tune on the dish.
I don't know if there's a particular etiquette to eating chicken and waffles, if there's like a clamp method, a knife and fork method. Man, chicken cream and waffles, eh? I just feel like there's some dishes in the world that you kind of question, why did you even put that together? There's the chicken, there's the cream, there's the waffles. Let's take this bite. That chicken does look really juicy though. All right, only one way to find out if it's good. I don't know how I feel about that. I sincerely don't know how I feel about that. All right, let's break it down. So the chicken, very tender, very juicy, oily, crispy. It's good on its own. The waffle, pretty standard. It's not dry. It's like a bit buttery. Decent on its own. The whipped cream, not too heavy, not too heavy on the stomach. I think the sum of the components is actually worse than the individual components themselves. It's interesting. It doesn't taste bad. I just think it doesn't make it any better. So if I just had the chicken by itself, I'd be like, oh yeah, good. Waffles, good. Cream, I mean, sure, good. All together,
The problem I saw with this dish was that it doesn't work very well with each other.
And by the way, this ratio is completely off. This is 1 part chicken, 4 part waffle, and 1 part cream. Give me at least half ratio, please, so I can work with these ratios. You know what? I reckon some people will like it. I think more people will find it strange than less. And I think I'm one of those people. I would say not my personal recommendation for chicken waffles.
In terms of dessert, I believe the chocolate slice is also a classic IKEA specialty, so I knew what I was getting myself into.
As usual, very good. It's got that nice almond crunch, chocolate layers, and like a couple nougat.
Its crunchy biscuit base with chocolate and caramel nougat makes it for a satisfyingly sweet dessert. Lastly, the strawberry pistachio mousse was something I was interested in trying.
Now let's try this bad boy. Very soft. Oh yeah. Bit of strawberry, bit of cream. Let's try it. Mousse is really good actually. It's super light. It's not heavy at all. A very light flavor. The strawberry ganache kind of adds more of a kick to it, or an extra layer of strawberry.
Its fluffy texture with light flavors make it for a perfect dessert for those wanting something sweet.
Strawberry pistachio mousse, not bad, not bad. Before I get too full and I can't string together one sentence to save my life, let's go down from worst to best out of everything I've had. Worst is probably the chicken waffles. Unfortunately, chicken waffles in this case didn't work for me. The chicken on its own was good. The sum of its parts is actually less than the individual components, so that's going to be at the bottom of the level. Next, I think is the salmon. The salmon itself was really good just by itself, but then what brought it down was the penne being sub-cooked, like undercooked, and the sauce not being anything special as well. Like there wasn't really a strong tomato flavor. That's why it's 5th on my list. Next will probably be the almond cake. The almond cake is standard, very classic. Yeah, like you know what you're expecting, and that's where the middle tiers are going to be coming from. You know what you're expecting here, and therefore that's why I put the meatballs next. You know what you're expecting. You can't go wrong with meatballs. You can't go wrong with the almond slice. So good there. Second place is strawberry and pistachio mousse. Pretty light, pretty good. I rate, easy to eat, easy to chow down. It's like what, $3 as well. First on the list, roast beef, hands down. Roast beef was very surprising. It was cooked really well, great flavors, great sauces. Try to finish everything else first. I can only do these videos like once in a while. There's no way I can do this on a regular. In terms of IKEA, there's nothing really much else left to say besides it's good, it's standard, you know exactly what you're getting. There are going to be some items that do better, some items that do worse. If you guys have stuck around to the end of the video, thank you so much for tuning in. It really, really means a lot to me that you finish it to the end of the video. Okay, that's a wrap.